All right, let's make a deal, Saints fans. My proposal, I'm going to continue to give you daily Saints content during the weekend, throughout the week, throughout the entire offseason, even during the NFL season. That being said, I need something for you. I need you to like this video. I need you to comment a bunch of times. I need you to subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, share the dang video. Get this video out to the entire Who Dat Nation, and here's a 5-step process of how to share this video. So first things first, you're going to click the share button. Next thing, you're going to select the Twitter icon. After that, click post to Twitter. Tag me at TraceGerard48. I also have the link to my Twitter account in the description and comments of this video. And then here's the situation. The first 10 shares that are on Twitter, I'm going to follow you back. I'm going to retweet you. And heck, I may even give you a shout out on tomorrow's video. So share the video, like, subscribe, and let's have some fun and let's talk some Saints ball. So first things first, there is an offer on the table for tight end Foster Moreau. Reports are saying that he might be headed to New Orleans. The Saints have interest. Foster Moreau clearly had interest with the Saints earlier in the offseason, which is why we actually found, or why Moreau was actually able to find out that he had the Hodgkin's lymphoma diagnosis, because he went and had a free agency visit with the Saints. The Saints are clearly reciprocating their interest in Foster Moreau. And here's 3 reasons why I want Foster Moreau in New Orleans. So first, the Saints have a need at tight end, especially when they, after trading Adam Troutman to go up and trade up to get A.T. Perry in the NFL draft. I think the Saints, you got to go and add to that depth. Behind Juwan Johnson, we don't know what Lucas Kroll is going to look like. We don't know what Miller Forrestall is going to look like. Taysom Hill, he's a tight end, but he kind of just does it all. So I think that the Saints definitely need a tight end. There is also familiarity. There's chemistry with Derek Carr. He was one of his favorite pass-catching targets last year for the Raiders and over the last few years. And at the end of the day, you get to get the kid to return to Louisiana. He's an LSU Tiger. He went to Jesuit. And honestly, I think it would just be fun to get the homecoming with Foster Moreau. But here's what's important. We have to acknowledge this. You can't sit here and talk about let's go get Foster Moreau without acknowledging the most important thing, and that is beating and kicking the ass of that Hodgkin's lymphoma diagnosis. So as I said earlier, a free agent visit with the Saints led to the Hodgkin's lymphoma diagnosis. Moreau has been optimistic, however, about a return to football midway through the season, around October, probably start playing around November. And the diagnosis was found early. And Hodgkin's lymphoma is a very manageable form of cancer to beat and as well as to recover from and move forward with your life. So this is good news for Foster Moreau. I really, really hope that he is doing well and his fight is going well, because obviously I want him on New Orleans. And Derek Carr, I could see why he would want him on New Orleans as well. Derek Carr loves his tight ends. Look at these numbers. You had over 90 targets just to your tight ends alone last year with the Raiders. You had 54 targets to Foster Moreau, 33 receptions, 420 yards, very nice, 12.7 yards per catch. And then he had 2 touchdowns, whereas Darren Waller had 28 receptions on 43 targets, 388 yards, just under 14 yards per tote, and 3 touchdowns. And so here's my point. The Saints depth chart, it's like Taysom Hill, Juwan Johnson. He's great. JJ, Mr. Reliable, we love him. Taysom Hill, he's a phenomenal football player. That's just what he is. He's not a tight end. He's not a quarterback. He's not a running back. He's a football player. And that should just be, like fantasy flex, that should be a real thing because of Taysom Hill. Lucas Kroll, he's the UDFA out of Pitt. We don't know what he's going to look like on an NFL roster or at NFL speed. Miller Forrestall and Joel Wilson, both guys that could make the roster. Joel Wilson was a UDFA in this year's 2023 UDFA class for New Orleans. So my point being, I think that the Saints got to address the tight end. And I love the fact that there is an offer on the table for Foster Moreau. And I need you to tell me, how happy would you be if Foster Moreau signed with New Orleans? Scale it on a scale from 1 to 100. 1, I don't want him. I would hate it. I'd be really upset. 100, I couldn't be more ecstatic. My number, I got to say, I would be 105. I'm going to break the scale because at the end of the day, it's my show, so I can do that. But I need you to tell me. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with a YouTube ad break, share your thoughts. I can't wait to see what y'all got to say. All right, so now let's break down some wild trade ideas for the Saints. And let me preface this before we get into it. These came in from some of our chat sports analysts, our NFL experts, our geniuses behind the scenes, as well as some of our hosts here, and some trade ideas that we've seen around the internet, and we kind of just pieced together to make it make sense for New Orleans. So here's the first trade idea that our experts here at Chat Sports cooked up: Quinnen Williams and a 2024 6th-round pick. That being said, you give up Alvin Kamara, a 2nd-round draft pick in 2024, and a 4th-round draft pick in 2024. And before you click out of this video, give me a second to explain, okay? So Quinnen Williams, he's a dog. He's really, really good at football. The former Alabama Crimson Tide defensive tackle is really, really good at hitting the quarterback. I mean, look at that. 28 QB hits, 12 sacks. He has 12 tackles for a loss and 55 tackles in 16 games played. He's healthy. He is a game wrecker. And I think that he would fit in so dang well on this depth chart. You obviously brought in Colin Saunders and Nathan Shepard in free agency. Brian Brzee, your 1st-round draft pick. Isaiah Foskey, a 2nd-round draft pick. I have him. I say this every video. I have Isaiah Foskey over Carl Granderson on the depth chart just to show that he's out there, show that he could potentially start later on in the season. As we get closer, I will adjust it accordingly. But that being said, Brian Brzee, you give him some time to really learn, give him some more veteran, some more quality talent to develop behind and next to. Cameron Jordan, he is great. Malcolm Roach, you brought him back. I mean, I just think that it would be one of those things. It makes a lot of sense. I would really, really love to get Quinnen Williams in New Orleans. That being said, Alvin Kamara, and I want to say this, Alvin Kamara is awesome. I love having Alvin Kamara wear number 41, repping the black and gold. Do not get me wrong on that whatsoever. However, you may not want to bring him back after his contract is up. You drafted Kendre Miller. You brought in Jamaal Williams on a multi-year contract. So my point being, maybe you look to do this because you can just dump him and you might lose him anyway. Depends on what the front office's plan is with Alvin Kamara. If you want to bring him back after his contract year, bring him back by all means. But if you want to move on from him, maybe this is a trade that you actually explore. So I want you guys to let me know. Would you do this trade? Here's the trade package. Here's all the details of it. And if you know ball, I need you to prove it and comment below. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Would you do this trade? Now, for the record, I don't want to trade Alvin Kamara. I want Alvin Kamara to be in New Orleans. Sorry for the voice crack. I want Alvin Kamara in New Orleans very badly. Don't get it McTwisted. Don't get it confused. And don't come after me saying you want him out of here. Because I want Alvin Kamara to succeed in New Orleans. I want him to continue to be on the Saints. However, I also do understand that there is a need on defensive line. You definitely can boost that. You have a strong running back room. And at the end of the day, we have stats that I have to show you guys. And why I want Alvin Kamara is because y'all have heard of the Holy Trinity, right? Y'all know how to cook. Y'all are Cajuns. Y'all know how to cook. I'm talking white onion, green bell peppers, and some celery. This is my Saints football Holy Trinity. I mean, look at this damn running back room. 223 carries, 897 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Kamara. And obviously that was on limited time. He didn't play all that great. The offensive scheme and the game plan for him wasn't great last year. Jamaal Williams, 262 carries, over 1,000 yards, and 17 tutties. And Kendre Miller, your draft pick in the 3rd round at number 71 overall out of TCU, 224 carries, 1,400 yards, and 17 tutties. I mean, guys, this could be the best running back room in the NFL if all things work out. If all things go to plan and all things trend in the right direction, this running back room could be the top producing running back room and the most talented running back room across the entire NFL. And so while I continue to bring you guys news and rumors, while I continue to bring you guys Saints coverage, I'm a Saints fan. I like to give you guys Saints coverage because y'all are Saints fans as well. I need you to help me out, though. I talked about earlier, I need you to like, subscribe, share all the fun stuff. We are so dang close to 15,000 subscribers. I need 15,000 subs before week 1. I refuse to settle for less than 15,000 subscribers. So I need you to help me out. Hit the dang sub button, turn on notifications, and help us reach 15K. All right, so trade idea number 2. I kind of like this one. I think y'all might be some fans of it. DeAndre Hopkins, you give up a 4th-round pick and a 5th-round pick a 2024 4th-round pick and a 2025 5th-round pick. Excuse me. Sorry for that, y'all. So here's why I think this makes sense. Check out the wide receiver depth chart. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It is very, very good. Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Rashid Shaheed. Dogs. A.T. Perry might be the steal of the draft. Brian Edwards, you bring him in because there's familiarity with Derek Carr. He could beat out Traquan Smith because he is a quality run blocker as well as a pass catcher. Then you have Malik Flowers, you have Barnett, and you have Shaq Davis on the depth chart as well. It's a loaded depth chart, but I think that D-Hop would be so elite. Because he, in 9 games played, 64 receptions, 717 yards, 3 touchdowns, 11.2 yards per catch. And my reasoning as to why I want D-Hop, despite a loaded wide receiver room, why not go all in? I want a damn ring. I'm tired of getting, just close enough. I'm tired of just being good enough to make the playoffs, make some noise, and then lose in the second round. I'm so damn tired of getting screwed out of the NFC Championship and having to deal with that. I'm tired of playing the Vikings in the damn playoffs and having to hear from it from producer Seeps. I want a dang ring. So I want the Saints to go all in. And that's why I propose this trade idea. Because I think that it would make sense for the Saints to go and be the top wide receiver depth chart or wide receiver group in the NFL because the NFC is so weak. The Saints could bring in a quality pass catcher, a quality contested catch guy. And on top of that, if you have injury issues with Michael Thomas, it just furthermore proves and furthermore locks in you truly have a wide receiver 1. Because don't get me wrong, Chris Olave can be a wide receiver 1. It's just a matter of will he be that this year? Will he be it next year? It's a matter of when, not if. So I want a damn ring, and I think that you guys would join me in that idea. So don't get mad at me for proposing these ideas. Don't get mad at me for just having some fun and trying to cook up these cool trade ideas for you guys. Which trade is better, though? Type trade 1 for the Alvin Kamara and some draft picks for Quinnen Williams. If you like the DeAndre Hopkins trade for just draft picks, type trade 2. And also, hit me up on social media. You can let me know in my DMs on any of these 3 apps, at TraceGerard48 on Twitter, at TraceGerard48 on Instagram, and guess what my TikTok handle is? At TraceGerard48. Got 1,200 followers, 1,700 followers, and 144. Let's bump all this up. I need to get to 1,500 followers on Twitter and 2,000 on Instagram. Like that just has to happen. So help me out, subscribe, follow me. Let's chop it up. Let's talk some Saints ball. And at the end of the day, I hope you guys enjoy the content. Feel free to DM me any sort of feedback you want to provide. Y'all stay golden. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Peace.